to doing what a lot of people had dubbed as impossible, and you fell short right at the final hurdle. This is very much a battle of the mental now, right? And on the other side of things, Astralis, this is a tenured team, a tenured squad. Farley, I guess you could say, is the least proven, but even then has a little bit of experience under his belt. And it's one that Astralis, I think, with all the pressure riding on this, with so much now being invested in just one map of Counter-Strike, in terms of the mental, they've got to be feeling better. Let's see, though. HEET with a T-side start, leaning outside early. Maybe in this little break, they've been able to get pumped all over again, and are looking to do it in 3.
Oh, a little outside play. Don't often see this on a pistol, right? USP is definitely going to dominate the yard, but we've got P250 leading for Afro, looking for those taps at range. Got a couple of angles here. Blame and Glaive trying to take fights. He beats the smoke. Glaive moves outside behind the blue boxes, and there's 3 CTs fighting. Instant goosh onto Afro, but it's lucky to take the first blood. The Joker trying to play with him at ramp. It's going to open up a big rotation for Astralis, but this is a bit of a fake out. Exercise is cleared upper. The bomb is B, but will it come up the vent? Seems like it. Glaive falling in.
No.
Doesn't even make it to the ground alive, and now he can get the plant.
Astralis 3v5 shouldn't even be a way back in. If they manage to craft one, it will be something else. Stacked up. Ready to pull up and do some damage as Config on this USP, but with time already having ticked away from them. It's looking rough, looking undoable. HEET aren't overextending, and they've even got a guy wrapping hell, so should be a done deal. blameF on the main play. Even though he gets one, it's probably the end of the line, and HEET now looking to run away with this pistol. Nothing that blameF can do here. They're hounding him down, and he will take everyone to the grave, but it's still a HEET round.
Yeah, nice fake out there. They're playing both sides at the same time, right? Obviously getting down secret with that opening kill, and I think a lot of the info comes from Joko on ramp. He sees that double setup for Astralis. He knows their point of rotation. They instantly fall down. He hears them from radio, and then HEET with one man walking out upper just calls that rotate back, and they fly up vent to win the round. So nice stuff. This is going to be a game of cooling mid-rounds, right? Of who's going to be slipping in fakes, who's going to be out-braining the other. And, you know, while we obviously hold Glaive very highly in that regard, with some, you know, assistance from Blame as well, HEET, they've already surprised, they've already impressed. So nothing is off-limits here. Shotgun in Heart lucky is very lucky to not have pushed forward and walked into it. I like an auto. Config getting cheeky. Already leaving the lobby to go back late outside for smokes. Delaying it in case of pushes in yard or a nade setup. But they'll be lining up a wall now. Say that, they've only got 2 smokes left, so it won't be much of a wall. They need someone else to drop one. Joker picks it up and will probably just right-click it on the fly, it seems.
Smoke's now landing. They try to make it down. That's a lot of damage out of blameF on the smoke spam. Oh, he's going to get one. Ouch. That was guaranteed. Exercise on the receiving end as he tries to cross back. The man who was tagged the lowest going to get brought to his knees now. Double setup down lower. Astralis looking to bring the heat right away. In this 4th round, Farley going to drop one more from play.
Ouch.
The auto shotgun in Heart is deceptively overpowered. It's incredibly strong. Flashing towards the site. Zip dead. However, they're getting fast wrapped by Glaive. With just body left standing, he might leave this body bagged. blameF to find him with a double. And Astralis steal it back right away with the force. Dude, the auto shot Ian Hutt, I genuinely think it's like it ludicrously strong. Yeah. The only way that you're going to falter is either by utility, like getting nade stack, getting naded, or if you kind of give into your own temptation to go pushing. That's like literally how you lose that. If you just hold like Config did, there's very little that someone swinging that can actually do.
Yeah, and these rounds are the roughest, right? When you lose second and you put down on pistol armor, 1,400 bucks, nothing. Grab a flash, but Zip is nice and passive, and Farley from range should have been good for 2. Exercise instead taps him with no helmet. It's easy. Luckily enough, that other ramp player makes it down to be safe, and Config is even ready to help out, but Zip says he's fine. Config stays in the vent to enable that rotation back upper. And HEET looks like they are going for B very late. They've got one smoke to lob in one of these doorways. Zip trying to get anchored down at the back of the bomb site. Config falls back down the vent to join him, and Zip just trying to buy time. That smoke falls very short. It bounces on the lip of the plant spot. Lucky gets the entry, but Config's actually using the smoke to his advantage. Will they be ready for this play? He's hiding inside, trying to deny any bomb plant that HEET attempt. Body is stuck on him right now. He realizes, surely he realizes Config wins a fight. That's a clean burst, and he even follows up to the bomb above him. Afro trades, but how the hell do you get this package out of the rafters?
Someone's going to have to make a move. Someone's going to have to go get that. Oh, never mind. Afro's digged out blameF. And now it is just Glaive 1 versus 2. Through the vents, looking for a way back in, but he's got to get past the Tech-9, and then he's got to win another fight. Glaive doesn't even look ready for a fight on the right-hand side, and so that swing, now giving the info over at least. They still haven't got the bomb. They're still so psyched out. Like, the bomb is very out of position here. They will send Afro to go get it. Gonna get his hands back on it. Now dropping into the site. There's a temporary 1v1 for Glaive. But as he goes running in, tries to disrupt that bomb plant with the util, it gives over that engagement that Exercise was looking for. That is a force buy win from HEET. And now the force buy wars are on. Gonna keep this one going till someone wins 2 in a row.
Can't believe HEET win that with Config making this play, right? Like, what a big ball play to just move inside of the smoke. Body didn't even realize, like, man, this smoke is lasting for ages. I can't walk through it. And double up, bomb drop. Glaive doing everything he can to change position, keep it fresh, but HEET will force it out. Astralis, they don't even have a shotgun in the hut now. Desperate times. Farley, a temporary gap, and he shoots between 2. HEET will be able to cross. There's a spot for Blame. You know, this guy in complexity was a beast outside. He's going to have to fight Glaive for that position here. Crossing down Secret now. HEET will make it with the bulk of this T side. Just Lucky left lurking. Body provides their escape route. Make sure no one's flanking. And right now there's no vent rotate. Just Zip already posted inside of B. Oh, this gamble for Astralis might pay off.
Oh, Config, this is a dream position, especially with so many teammates to draw attention away, but Afro's just dealt with him immediately. He's swinging out from behind the silo. Ooh. Zip's fallen as well. Farley, while he has dropped the bomb, goes back in for more and is immediately punished. blameF stuck under. Will get buried by Body. Only Glaive again. And even though he finds Lucky coming down, the ladder is a bit of a chance kill there. What on earth can you expect him to do?
Save.
Might be the best and only option available to the man at the helm of Astralis. Glaive doesn't want to give them the respect, doesn't want to give them the round. So he still looks interested. Body's giving him a peek here, but somehow manages to get away. If Glaive had gotten that, maybe we see him attempt this round. Might still look to keep players near the bomb to do damage, to bring a couple of bodies out of the round. Manages that 1 frag, even going back for more. He's still going to be fine to get away from the bomb, but HEET winning 2 in a row, 3-1 up now. And an eco to follow from Astralis.
Yeah, Glaive knows the damage, the importance of damage, right? The economy being kept low for HEET. And, you know, the difference between surviving a round with 2 players and 3 players matters a hell of a lot in terms of making or losing money in the round. So, yeah, you know, nice exit for Glaive. Will keep things under question, but it still has to be the eco for Astralis. With 2 in a row for HEET, off the back of that $1,400 pistol win. They're laughing right now. This is going to give them a great beginning to their T side. Volleying the choke points, making sure Astralis don't rush and Glaive outside, looking for this silo pick, does some damage. Lucky got down the vent. Nice drop. Question is, are Astralis aware? Config seems to be on the hunt right now. Oh, he spotted him. Bit of info. Lucky doesn't know as well, so Config has great chance here to get a double dink off. There it is. Beautiful execution. Now 2 guns in a round that should be unwinnable.
Glaive, gets the info. Oh, it doesn't go both ways. He's good for that opener. Still fighting and still doing damage. Glaive, a monster down here in secret. Maybe maybe scares HEET out of the outside play. It's all they're really left with here. They've given up lobby a long time ago. They don't have the info, so their hands are tied. They've got to keep fighting forwards, and fighting forwards leaves you in the prying eyes of Config. They are going to get past him, but a USP from Zip has reclaimed that kill. Astralis, this was pistols around a hero Galil, and they might be onto a winner. These forced by wars, which they shouldn't even be called at this scoreline, might still be on. Glaive trying to close the gap. Oh, he might hit this timing. They just look away, and it's the tag. He won't commit to the full kill. Doesn't want to throw away the Galil. Not the hill to die on, especially with so many bodies still in A. blame's going to hold the line. And for HEET, this is a round that will sail past them. Joko trying to take as many out of the round with him as he can. But ultimately, it's an Astralis round at the end of the day. They do it with USPs and Glaive's Galil. That's all they had.
Dude, Glaive,
they're on to a second.
Glaive does like 300 damage in that round with a save, Harry. 300. He dinks 2 players that his teammates finish off, and he even finds that first kill outside, as well as Config dropping the vent rotate. What a mess. When you think finally HEET should be able to start running away with things, we draw eyes back to the damage Glaive even got in the previous round. Look at what it's done to them. They didn't save guns. They're down to pistols again. Nothing is as certain right now, as ecos have been won on either team to begin this game. Fighting for every single round, even with the odds against you. But you'd like to think Astralis, this is where now they shut down the force buy. They're setting up for an A play. We've got a backside molly and a double flash available for Afro. Body's going to give him another Molotov, so a couple of lineups here from the top of roof.
Astralis have got the read, though, right? They've gone very, very lax towards outside. They've got contact points still in heaven and main, guys who can watch it, but everyone is within a vicinity of this A play. They were expecting this. HEET have likely been outread and are going to struggle to find a way in. Breaking past the brain of Glaive is easier said than done at moments like this. And Config, lost in the lobby, holding it down, is just denying this man on T-Roof joining up with the bomb in the A play, and so Afro is left high and dry, alone in the 1v4. Astralis don't need to come hunting. They don't need to go looking for him. They've already won the round. And with it, the force by wars now go their way.
Yeah, as good as the utility even would be on the roof for HEET, it's just so many people dedicated to throwing nades as well. So if you don't get that first entry, snowball's out of control, and we barely see HEET get a grip on that round. Astralis, they move out of those dangerous positions at getting mollied, sitting in the middle of the open, multi-killing, and HEET just get cleaned up on the A-bomb site. Relegated to roof with 2 men. No problem for Astralis to stop that one, and like you said, read well. Ancient maybe knew that people may not have the depth to know what to do when things are going wrong, but there's no question about Astralis' Nuke, or even just the individuals on this team, on this map. Farley, he really showed off last time on Ancient as well. Can't wait till we have the money established to get him an AWP. Just staying on rifles now, knowing the eco's in play, not wanting to give an AWP over to a conglomerate of pistols running him down. They're coming in from silo, but blame's moving up outside, and Farley's going to get this early spot. Easy kills for him as they poke their heads out top silo. blame farms as well. And you want to keep 5 alive. blame will even make sure that that happens as Config swings in for more. And that's a nice 5 alive round for Astralis to keep the lead.
I've got to say, man, you know, Glaive is feeling really, really switched on with the cooling. Like, both these rounds have had perfect setups now to deny the HEET game plan, right? In the A play, no one playing outside. You had Heaven, you had Main, that was it. They were there to respond to an outside play in the event that it came in, but they had faith that Glaive was right to stack, lean heavy in towards A to deny that A push there. When it's outside, they have a guy down secret, they have a guy garage, they have blame challenging main, they have a second main player to help out. These are exceptionally good reads. You would expect nothing less out of Glaive, but it certainly sets a bit of a worrying precedent. HEET, they probably need a round pretty quickish, right? They want to try and have a bit of a response here to what Astralis are bringing. That molly separates the push, gives Config these 2 1v1s. HEET can't get in. They're smoked off. They're denied this presence in towards A that they were looking for, and they're going to try and go back to ramp where Zip sits waiting. Waits patiently. Lucky will open up on a Farley out on A. Zip hears them coming and deals with the first man in. Oh, and the second. You're not getting into ramp. And if Lucky even tries, Config's got his name, got his number, holding from the hut, and will lock that in.
That's all blame as well to begin it. Config frags out, but as HEET throw an instant smoke wall to start the round, blame does what he does best, and he just runs through it, Harry. He has no flash, he just swings the smoke, he clears behind red, and he tells his entire team, yo, these are fake. Watch out on your ramp, watch out on your A, and that's why Astralis not only destroy on the A play, but HEET hoped that, okay, after we go ramp in that 2-on-4, maybe we've pulled the ramp player back to CT, or we've sent him down B. No, Zip is so tucked in that those flashes deep on ramp do absolutely nothing because blame called it was fake. Everyone was alert, everyone was still holding their spots, committed, and he didn't need to rotate because that A anchor work was so clean with 3 CTs still on top site. Pause for HEET. They feel like they're already being outread. They feel like these A plays are so obvious right now and they're not getting a single entry off the back of them. Committing with that outside play might be their best bet. But again, you're back to pistols. Wouldn't turn your nose up at a fast ramp. 2 mollies only suggests this this top hit again. Or trying to get someone down the vent. The hut roof molly. They've done it before successfully. Lucky is running door side, but that Molotov will deny it. He's got to wait. Smokes it out, still gives it a go. And he actually does make it, but his team crunch ramp. Good flash behind the smoke. Zip never gets a warning, but he doesn't need one. 2 kills off the AK. Gun is gifted to Afro. Got to put it to use now because Config's shutting the net. Oh!
Body's going to catch him. This can still get weird. However, glaive, it's a nice response, right? Blame, like lurking in through outside. It's a big push. He's going to start to creep in right as Body leaves the angle. Afro now, 1v3. A lot to do, and most of the map is a big grey area. Doesn't know where this third man is, doesn't know where Farley's AWP currently resides. Don't really know where Glaive's gotten to down here in B. You know he's around, but the big question is where. Gonna face him right away, and Glaive wins that one flawlessly. Astralis on fire now. Really starting to pick up momentum on this CT side. And this, it's given me a bit of faith in Astralis. It really is. You know, one of the kind of things that this squad of old is I could get them to these very important games and kind of no matter what you were able to get away with early on, by the end of it, they'd be able to blow you out the water, right? They would come in dominantly into whatever last maps used to crop up.
Yeah, often be like an Inferno or a Nuke Decider, and these are the bread and butter of Astralis, a map that they streaked on for 30-ish games.
Kind of the polar opposite of like an Outsiders who long it out, right? Who take you the distance in the third map. These guys are trying to set speed records. Gonna need one hell of a response for HEET. Body is at least open this round up. An early man advantage that goes untraded with no chance to bring that one back.
And they beg that A is weak. They pray that someone has had to fill the void, that Blame is left outside with that pick, and they are setting up for a top hit right now. Smoke going over. Farley's on top garage. Very ballsy. There were numbers here, but now, for a moment, it's only Glaive. Config's rotated down the vent. If there were ever going to be an A play successfully, this would be it, but Zip has gambled and left ramp open. He's going to reinforce the A site through heaven. It's a well-timed rotation, as again, Astralis seem to have the read, but they're doubting themselves. Zip going back. Glaive is committed to the back of the bomb site. The Molly has stopped this hut rush, so HEET have to do it in the mid-round. They have to run into this AWP.
Farley, how will he get out of this one? Dropping down, they do let him get away. They're trying to give chase, but Zip here on that rotate out of heaven. These CT rotations are so quick, they're so clean, they're so vintage Astralis. Just when you think you've got an advantage, they're so quick to clasp down upon you. Zip might have missed that timing. He might be stuck here. They're going to take a lot of time dealing with him. Zip just doesn't have to give them this fight. Will swing it and drops the bomb. If Afro dies, there's no winning the round. Zip has stolen it away from CT.
Dude, everyone's looking so sharp right now. Like Glaive's hitting, numerous headshots across these last couple of maps. Config needs no introduction. We saw Farley shut down the end of the map on Ancient. Everyone is performing for Astralis right now. No one is going cold and quiet in this final map. And the fact that Zip not only buys all that time, but then even double kills, killing the bomb, and any hope of HEET winning that round is immense. 7 CT rounds, and they're only getting warmed up. HEET can't find a gap, man. The only rounds they have are this early game where we have 4 spies go back and forth, and ever since Astralis won that full eco, they have streaked together round after round, 6 in a row. No signs of slowing down. And even this money is kaput for HEET. Getting scary. Is that speed run here, Harry? It's not any win percent. Astralis want 100. They want to shut it out. They want to go to the major. And this is their chance to do it.
I mean, HEET might be frozen out, but Glaive's brain snowballs the longer that he finds success, right? He's feeling like he has got the read because he has. The cooling's been sublime on this CT side. And it's making HEET feel so restricted. It feels like wherever they go, they're running into numbers, they're getting shut out by utility. The gaps that they're leaving are getting exploited, are getting found. Think about some of this harassment from blameF outside with the aggro. Once again, they try to go back out, but look at this setup, man. There's 3 players that can, in the blink of an eye, respond to an outside play. You had the AWP of Farley, you've got Blame here, and then you've also got Config playing this like doubled vent setup. Zip even in heaven, like everyone is outside. You're trying to go out and you're being fought by 4 different players. You managed to get down with 2, but oh, guess who's here? Config, that guy who was in main, has now dropped the ladder, dropped the vent, and is ready to shut down the B play. This is just perfection out of Astralis. And I mean, they're learning the hard way just how good this team was in its prime. It feels like a kind of prime Glaive cooling right now.
Yeah. And everyone's just flowing. I doubt there's even that much micro going on, to be honest, on Astralis. Everyone seems to know their spots really, really well. The protocols are in place. And this is kind of what we saw on Ancient in the sense of like, yeah, HEET, they've got a lot of maps played here. They've got a lot of experience. They've got great win percentage, but they've never faced this level of opposition on LAN in a 2-2 game for a major qualification for the final spot. It's all these points of pressure that Astralis have done so many times and something HEET have never even had to experience. Now, that's a great spam for Lucky, somewhat assisted by Blame shooting Glaive and slowing him
Blame
down.
did just kind of kill him a little bit by slowing down the vent drop.
But maybe he can make up for it, Harry, or maybe he can't.
Okay. Well, look, sometimes all you need is 1 round to find a way back in, right? In these last few where it's just been getting utterly dictated to you by the opponent, you're feeling the pressure, you're feeling emotions. You know, we see players at the end of these games where it comes down to whether or not you make the major or you go home, they will be in tears. And for a squad like HEET going from, double pony to this team, from relative obscurity to now, they're really feeling the pressure, the emotions. It's all very overwhelming, but this is where they can find that 1 round to try and get them back in it.
Config was T-Roof, and now he's already down Secret, and that's because he realizes when he drops out of T-Roof, no one trades him, no one re-peaks him in lobby. That's so much info for Astralis just by seeing no one that he can call they're all down Secret. They try come back up, and Farley flicks 2. Dangerous strikes at the worst time. In a 3-on-5, Astralis are coming alive.
I mean, look at how scared HEET are. Like, they're feeling this round getting out of control. They don't like it. They're starting to doubt everything. They tried to go down B. They tried to make the outside cross happen. They didn't like what they saw down towards B. And going back up A has not served them well. If they weren't in their heads before, they might be at the end of this one. As a 3-on-5 looks to fall apart. Afro all alone. Both players here for Astralis. He's not fooled them. And a missed shot sees Zip close that out. Astralis up onto 9. Still streaking these rounds together. That's 8 in a row now. This is getting out of hand. HEET need attack pause. They need to calm down. They have so much running through their minds right now, and a small part of it must just be, we should have closed this out on Ancient. You're worried that that chance has slipped by, and that was the only chance you're going to get.
Yeah, with a game like this, that so much is true. It feels like the only chance. They can't get the ball rolling. They can't get a foot right. Config, ooh, very scary on that vent cross, but he will live. He is just freaking out right now, hitting some insane shots, and Farley is no exception. Style on these AWP flicks. headshot onto the silo. The top man of this entire tournament for HEET in Joko is dead first. 3-13, silent to close the series. There's always a way back in. It's Counter-Strike. A game is never done. But in terms of being one-sided, this is the most this series has felt like one team is controlling the game. Oh. One AK. Body's got to be that hero. And Config's pushing smokes. He doesn't respect you. He does not care.
Not again. Body and Config did this down on the B site. This was how like everything got disrupted earlier on. Config's bodying them in with a triple. He tears them down on the door smoke push. And it's only Afro now. What little glimmer of hope there was once is quickly blown out by Config. Glaive goes swinging, looking to win this, looking to send a bit of a statement, and he will churn Afro up. And man, I mean, you can't even put it into words. This is so dominant. Anything that HEET have tried is just disrupted, is completely ruined by Astralis. You can tell that Config's being given room, right? We really learned over time just how kind of feelings-based some of the Astralis calls have been in the past. And it's clear that right now they're saying, Config, look, man, you can take space. We're getting these openers. That's giving them the freedom to have Config play this aggressive style. And he's got such a good read individually on what he needs to do to make these moments happen, to get in the heads of HEET. I don't know how you turn this around, or if you even can.
Yeah, Config's ADR is as easy as 1, 2, 3 right now. That's what he's sitting on. This guy is just getting so involved in every round, even when it's not multi-kills, it's information, it's denying space down on B. HEET run these smokes, they run into him lower. They work outside, he's up on T roof. There is nowhere open, nowhere empty. This A-site attempt again. They're close to the hut, but Config's got a molly primed. He sees the jiggle, and he throws it out. They've got to run through the burn, and Config delivers the treatment. It's painful. Bomb in the middle of the site, and that's a flick for Farley. Fast fingers on this guy. And back up the vent from B is Zip. Miss molly, but it won't matter. 4-on-2, and they have the package inbound in their ground. HEET have no way of turning this one on its head.
I mean, going for this fast A play at this scoreline does just scream desperation. None of these fast A pops have worked. You've been repelled every single time, and it's what you're going for with your last buy at the end of the half. Like, that is just brutal, that this is all they feel like they have left.
Yeah.
Blame's even there to drive the knife in the back of Body on this wrap round, deals with him. And at this point, you know, 12-3 is looking as good as done. There really shouldn't be a way back in for HEET here.
Oh, he saw a barrel. Wow. Tiny detail, but enough for Farley to find that kill. Just running through the main smoke with an orb. Like, what an audacious play. It's a sign of the times. Astralis are feeling invincible right now. They won a 12-3. Like you said, speed running the third map of this series after a long fought out couple of maps so far. A 16-14 on Ancient. Losing after a 10-5 lead on Dust 2 with an empty T side. And I don't expect an empty T side on this map. Smoke's coming from Silo. They know there's someone up there. Farley, no orb, no need. Holding on. There's players crossed. That's good for Body. No one has a clue about this. Config, first time he's not been in secret as this B play comes in. And because Farley was over the smokes, he feels like this position is empty. This is the one thing he have had.
But here's kind of the wild part, right? Like, firstly, HEET are doubting every bit of room they're being given as to this idea of it being Astralis, like giving them enough rope to hang themselves, as it were, right? Like, Body is super nervous as he plays down B here. As far as he's concerned, they probably have an idea that he's in this position, so he might struggle to find the impact. Meanwhile, they're throwing flashes into this A side. Like, Joko missing that jump across. This is all a sign of the times. This is all pressure and mounting for HEET, and it's only getting worse. Now, Joko's at least kept this in a 4-on-4, and Body is still down on this B site, really taking his time, trying to milk this for all it's worth. Joko under hell. What does he want to do with this? Could wrap Zip. Zip is tunnel visioned in on ramp. Astralis is starting to re-aggro lobby, but they have lost this ramp control, and with Body already down on B, they're going to have a bit of a rotation down towards him. Missed shot for Farley. If HEET win this, that might re-energize them going into the CT side. That will be massive. Just a little pick-me-up before moving into that second half, before moving on to the CT side. And Astralis, these T sides, they have kind of been, at times, the weaker point here for this squad. If there was going to be a way back in, you're going to have to rely on, you know, that one round there, finally feeling like you were able to outmaneuver the opponent, get a fourth, win a pistol, suddenly, who knows, you can close this gap.
I mean, look at those numbers. Yeah, I feel like, I think Blame crashed in that round. There was some typing going on. I think they wanted, and then he got cleared in main and he didn't even react. He didn't even click. He didn't turn. He didn't do anything. He just got hard cleared by Joko after he dropped Loud out of main. So I feel like Blame crashed, but at the time I heard the typing, damage was already done. So I you know, we'll wait to see what happens here. But I'm assuming that round counts. Ultimately, the damage was done to the T's anyway. So we'll see what happens here moving in. Ultimately, bit rough, but Astralis aren't going to be complaining. 3 out of the first 4 in that start of the game, and it felt like, you know, we were going to have a competitive map, and then it takes them a whole 10 more rounds to even get one at the end. Trying to keep spirits high, but how the hell do you put on a brave face when Astralis are doing you like this?
Once again, you know, full armchair psychologist coming out, but even the fact that when you wave at the camera, you do a sad face probably doesn't scream confidence, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels like there's probably some discussion going on about that last round with what looked like a crash, and Blame was out of the server by the end of the half, so we'll have more information for you shortly, but hey, man, I just say just give them the round at this point. They earned it. Like, they need something. They need anything, because this is a reckoning from Astralis. However you paint it, Harry. Use crayons for all I care. It's a work of art.
I mean, dude, the thing with series like this, and it's kind of the same as, you know, like that Outsiders Saw one. It's like when you're in a game that is this important, when you've had chances to actually secure that spot at the major, you know, to achieve what for some of these guys is like a life goal, an ambition that they've been aiming towards for years.
Yeah.
And you have that opportunity, and you watch as it just sails past. Like, that's soul-crushing. It really is. And you can't underestimate the impact that that's going to have on your gameplay. Even if you don't admit it in the moment. Even if coming into Nuke, you know, you're telling yourself, all right, brush it all down, we're going to win this map. It's still going to be there, eating away in the back of your mind, that there were chances, there were opportunities. They're only going to make it hurt more.
Yeah, especially at this level, like, everyone is so hyper-competitive. There's no one who's okay with mediocrity, okay with losing. You can put on a brave face, but yeah, I really thought they had it, man. I really thought they were going to shut down Ancient by the end. And what a reality check to come into a famed Astralis map, to close the series, to get dealt such a dominant half.
I mean, I've got to say, like, on the flip side, it's been a treat to watch Astralis looking this good in a 3-map series of this importance. I genuinely believe the calling has just been damn near flawless, right? And it's gotten to the point where it was obvious that HEET are in their own heads, feeling like they just can't set a foot right, they can't win a round. And that is a product of how good this calling has been from glaive. As mentioned, if you went A, you were fighting like 3-4 players on the A site. If you went outside, you were fighting 3 players out and a guy already down secret.
Think about how fast configs rotates were in pretty much every single round, right? Like dropping Ven, going up T-roof, getting info, going back down B. Every time we had a smoke wall, if it wasn't, you know, all this smoke spam killing or Blame going through and clearing it on the 1 or 2 fake rounds they had, it would be config not letting you get any control lower. The only rounds we had, you know, HEET on the B bomb site were the first couple of rounds where, you know, pistol rushing and one smoke walk outside. Past that point, they didn't even make it down secret.
No, exactly. And And that's why we started to see these like desperation A plays coming out towards the end of the half. Because at that point, what you're kind of realizing is, okay, we're getting outmaneuvered. We can't actually find these opening kills. And so we're going to go to the only site that you can just exec onto out of spawn with all of our set pieces, with all of our util. Maybe if we do that and we do that well, that's our way in. And it wasn't. It was repelled every single time. To actually make it to B, you need to get past this triple or sometimes quad outside hold. You need to get past the barrage utility, the harassment from blameF.
Sorry, Conflict's just pranking, Harry. Pranking hard. But yeah, I mean, compare the vibe check. You know, you can bring out all your armchair psychology in this pause right now. Astralis is joking around, flipping the bird. But on the other side, focus faces and that realization that your run here might be over despite some really good performances from, like you said, a team that has been orgless for so long to finally get picked up, deserving of that mantle, and then to just get dealt like this. It's a reality check. And with multi-time major winners on the other side, it's nothing to feel bad about, but that's easy for me to say from this seat where I don't have everything on the line like HEET do. Months of preparation, years of gameplay, peaking once again for players like Body Unlucky, and then just being flung back into the abyss of online Counter-Strike. Refreshing with their notes and prep. Whatever the Pistols got in store. If you just joined us, it's an 11-4 half right now. And we're in a bit of a tech timeout as we swap sides. Astralis going to their T half, which, yeah, has been trepidatious at times in this tournament. But ultimately, at this kind of scoreline, with every player firing off, I feel like all it's going to take is you just send config into any area of the map and he's going to go crazy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's like a few kind of variables here at play that like could play into this, right? Obviously, Astralis have just been sat here for a minute. Maybe that makes someone go cold, but I really don't think it does with the experience these guys have. For HEET, maybe the pause is giving them a moment of focus, or it could be the complete polar opposite, and they've all had to sit here thinking, oh my God, it's really over, isn't it? And they can't even talk to each other. They can't even really reassure each other right now. You are left with just your thoughts, and in a third map at 4-11, those thoughts can destroy you.
Yeah, and let's talk Farley for a moment as well, because obviously this is the latest change for Astralis, having Lucky left his team on the bench now, and you know, warming Bubsky's seat, and Farley coming in right now. Beginning this map, he's the top-rated player of the entire BO3 so far. 49 and 33, in line with Joko on the other side, but considerably less deaths, higher rating. And lower ADR, but like this guy has been nailing fools to walls all game today. Had an incredible ace up against a desperate A rush towards the end of Ancient that completely changed the pace of this game.
Yeah,
and he's been solid here on Nuke as well.
You can very much look at Farley. I would say Farley and Config as the reasons the Ancient got turned around.
Yeah.
Right, like. And you know, for you to be saying that, like, Config, it shouldn't come as a surprise. This guy's been a top player within Denmark for the longest of time now. Feels like as well, like, really matured as an individual, obviously. For Farley, far less proven, far more on the line for the guy. But able to relish in the opportunities, and I think Astralis owe him a lot already. And I mean, what a trade-up. Let's be real, right? With Lucky now out and Farley in, I think it's given just a much-needed boost to this Astralis squad. It felt like games too often came down to, you know, Config having to go big, or Blame having to go big, or maybe Glaive gives you one of those games where he's like nailing openers. But it always took someone having to deliver some spectacular performance. Lucky was always a very kind of middle-of-the-pack player. And I have no doubt that if given time, he could have gotten better. He could have gotten better. But Astralis don't have time. They don't have time to kind of mull over this one. They needed someone who could come in and immediately be that superstar, be that big-time player, someone who feasibly could be a device
Yeah.
And Farley, I would argue, fits that bill through and through.
Yeah, and now that we don't have time to wait either, Harry, we're getting into that second half. That round goes down for HEET. They pick up a fourth right at the end, and Astralis now chatting it away to pick up this T-side pistol. What do we have in store? Psych, you thought, so did I. But it's one more restart, and then we're back in. Spawns reset. And Astralis... it looked like we're getting in. Players were chatting, so the tech did end, but...
yeah, everyone had too much money.
16k pistol, you don't like that?
Don't know if you saw that, but yeah, everyone just bought full nades on Astralis with like armor behind it, and it's like,
nice,
oh,
yeah,
sick,
yeah.
good pistol.
I'll have the Deagle armor full util belt, please.
The Deagle armor Arabiata, please.
Yes, actually, yeah. You'll need a tray. But no matter how hot the food is, Astralis, they are ready to ravage it, Harry. They're ready to chow down on this T side, and I can't wait to see it. Zip smile, I remember.
Yeah, man, and also I want to say, Zip hasn't really been that good in Astralis for the longest time, but my goodness, you know, I think he's really stepped up in this game. I think he's really risen to the occasion, and it's great to see him smiling again, just looking like he's getting on with the guys, feeling like his mind's in it.
Yeah, he was super solid at ramp on the CT side as well. Never like getting picked with nothing. He was always tucked into that close right corner, and I feel like he never got cleared other than the round where Joker flanked Heaven to close out the half. Like really, really solid anchoring, doubling up or going 1-for-1 or dropping. You know, just a nice ramp hold. They felt like there was no gap for HEET. We already talked about how they couldn't get outside. The A site was solid, and then when you can't even say, oh yeah, let's just take ramp instead, when you don't have that third option, we could see the trouble that he was experiencing in getting any footing on the T side. It's a restart-a-thon, Harry. But one day, this game will continue.
Yeah, me, man. We're blessed with tech pauses.
We love a tech pause.
In important games.
At least it's at halftime, you know?
Yeah, and at least there's a good bit to talk about. I do remember back at Katowice where we got our...
Trial by fire.
Our back-to-back tech pauses. Oh. Yeah, that was good. Practicing stand-up to an arena full of folks was interesting. But luckily enough, I don't have any jokes prepared for this one. And I'm not funny enough to come up with them live. So we're all well and good.
Give yourself more credit, Harry. You don't even write lines. Maybe you should. You do write great scripts.
All right, man. This ain't about me. Come on down now. Just wait to get this one restarted.
There's only so many times and ways I can tell you that Astralis are good at Counter-Strike.
Yeah. We tried turning it on and off again, and when that didn't work, on and off again. And maybe third time's the charm on that one.
Yeah, there's something to it.
You know, for HEET, I think it's going to be a lot of attention on a few key players here. I want to see Joko hit the ground running, man. This guy's been so exciting throughout the entirety of the RMRs. And he's having a bit of a rough time right now. Also, you look at Body, you look at Lucky. These guys are the veterans. They are the most experienced too. You hope that they can try and step things up, elevate this team even more.
Yeah, even a legend of the French team and Matin behind them, right? Obviously of LDLC back about 3 years ago. Been in and out of those teams. It is a nice group, HEET, and it is nice to see French CS back on top, performing well at the high level. But unfortunately, unless they pull a full comeback here, no major dream for HEET. Headphones are going back in, but I'm not counting on anything at this point. All right, get under the table, plug in some wires, fix this one for us, would you? Caster, start games, stop talk.
Yeah, sorry guys, we just really want to do a podcast instead, so it's like, you know, I hope you all are cool with that.
I appreciate, you know, Astralis holding the game for us.
Yeah,
man. That was kind of them.
Well, you know, shout out Astralis on time. Thank you for giving us time to plug ourselves. Hugo, what's your social media, bud? Why don't you get that out during this peak viewership hour?
Yeah, at Hugo TV. Go for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You actually did.
Yeah. Well, you asked me.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
you
I'm
gotta
not
get the
say
free,
no to that.
free exposure while you can.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I do get paid in, ultimately.
Oh, that's sick, man.
Do it for the laughs. I don't know how related this still is to the blameF crash. If I haven't really seen him. He's hiding behind his monitor over there. If his PC's working. If this is about the last round. But I haven't seen anyone under his desk.
No.
So you would
I mean,
presume
like Glaive
not.
stood up a minute ago. I don't know. It looks like, you know how it is, dude. Once one thing breaks, it feels like everything breaks.
Yeah.
You know.
Including the mental of HEET. We've
Yeah.
gone down that road before.
Yeah, I think we've kind of hit the limit for going back and forth talking about the teams now, and I hope everyone can kind of feel that vibe. I don't want to keep telling you, like, oh, they did have a chance on Edge. They had an
they
opportunity.
know that one, don't worry.
Yeah, everyone knows. If you're a HEET fan, you knew they had a chance on Edge. Probably crushed. They couldn't win it. I know in a part, kind of all of us are, but, you know, I also don't want to sit here and tell you that Astralis is doing good, because I think it's like bordering on patronizing.
What a story it would be if HEET, you know, suddenly came alive off the back of a pistol, off the back of a pause.
So this is where we're at. We're hypothesizing what could happen.
Well, you know,
to talk about it.
I simply have nothing else to you know, I have no info for you. I don't know. We got back in, and then we didn't get back in.
Right.
So dipped our toes in the water. Bit cold though. I'll wait for the pool heater.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it would be sick because, like, let's imagine it for a second. Afro, he aces every round until they come back. And suddenly, not only is he best in Config's kill record in this game, but also they're going to the major. Like, yeah, dude, that's sick. It would be sick, wouldn't it? Bordering on unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe even impossible, Harry. But do we want to go that far? Meanwhile, I guess. Oh, hey, that's how we do it.
I don't believe it till we're actually in.
Welcome back, folks. It's a major spot on the line. It's the last one here in Bucharest. Land CS, and it feels good to be back.
Oh,
11-4,
it's real.
and go, go, go!
Astralis on the T side now. It was 11-4. HEET, they got one round at the end in round 15. Now they need to repel the A play. Lucky with two. And Afro going to come in with one of his own. Joko taps out that bomb, rotating into ramp. Will get deleted after the fact. There's a man in hell. There's two pushing lobby. Farley here with a USP. Oh, he's dead. It's the dual Berettas on Exercise and Lucky to find 3 in that round there. And HEET are up onto a 5th with a pistol under their belt. But if that first half taught us anything, the force is strong with Astralis.
That is true. But Harry, what if HEET won every round from here? You never know. But yeah, we had full eco wins out of Astralis with USPs and one gun from Glaive. So I like that Astralis just full eco this. Would have been easy to justify a force buy. Try and run a ramp rush or something of the sorts. They just want to get guns. They want as many rifle rounds as tangible. Harley's going to drop on main. It's P250 for Config. Even he wants a bit of a chance in this round, and he might find it. His team should go first. Out they fly. Config pops his head round the corner, and his head gets popped by body. Oh dear, no body shot for Afro. The pistol will have to do it. And Glaive, no way. He cheats a plant down on B. Cheeky bugger.
Oh yeah, planted the spot named after them. And there we go. That's a win in and of itself. Now, he's not going to win the round, I can tell you that much.
Bold.
But in terms of the money game, that is a huge dub for Astralis.
Could even mean the first AWP for Farley in round 3 of the half, right? But you know, maybe you won't go for it because it's bonus and you're expecting a lobby crunch or something like that. But hey, it just gives Astralis a bounty of options on this T side. 55, so you don't want no helmet. Probably won't see it. But man like Farley, he can do what he wants as far as I'm concerned.
That plant there. Going to give them a nice little cash injection. It's like an in-game version of their S-Tag deal. Glaive doing the bulk of it and making a lot of extra cash on the back of it. 11-6. Astralis now with their investment on this T side.
Good outside control for Body, because this is a bait and switch, right? He's tucked in so close. Even if you clear Lucky, there's no way you're ready for another man. Afro's going to give it up outside. Will be that smoke wall. So this double setup is very juicy right now. Here comes the squeeze.
Oh, up and over. Glaive gets the info at least that there's two players here, so they know what they're going into, but that doesn't make it any easier. He hold on outside. This double push serves them well. Farley is desperately looking for a trade, and he'll get cut down by the FAMAS as well. Zip and blameF might be out towards ramp, but the bomb is outside. So first, they've got to go back before they go forward. They're going to split up in two. blameF moving in towards Hell, while his teammate in Zip goes all the way back for this bomb. 35 seconds left upon its retrieval. Now we're very wide open, unknown ahead of Astralis here. Don't know where anyone is. You do have this advanced positioning on Blame, but there is a chance that he gets caught by the man up in heaven at the AC vent. Lucky gonna delete him. He has a real round here, does Lucky. A very large one indeed. Him and Body, 4 kills between them. We said as kind of the tenured, experienced guys on this squad, we wanted more mileage out of them. And if they can give us a bit more like that, HEET are not out of this one yet.
Yeah, big and maybe even true. We'll have to see if they can keep these rounds clean to build up early money, right? Because you know Astralis have more in the pocket to pull out near the end of this T side. Don't want those eco rushes to flip the script. The longer you can delay that first win is so big here for HEET. Pistol smokes outside for Astralis. Blame's poking his head around in lobby, looking for lurk kills, looking for aggressive CT players. Wider smokes being lined for Astralis. Can give them control towards Garage if they wish. But it's not the bulk, just 2 Ts creeping through. Oh, that was such a nice angle. He jumps back up though on the lip of the air conditioning and he freezes Glaive outside. Instead they're walking ramp. Ollie's going to stop him for a moment. Body's cleared the smokes outside. Knows no one's made it secret. And so this one seems clear as day for HEET. Off angle for Joko. Gets him a kill. There's a trade, but Scout continues to whittle them down. And getting a bomb plant is going to be very difficult. Presuming Exercise can hold on lower.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you kind of are just playing for damage. Like, you're super low. You know the odds of actually surviving an attempt to get into a site are low. And she's going to have to make a move, right? Farley does drop down lower, hoping he gets given an engagement here. Exercise will spot him. It's clean. It's easy. Nothing can go wrong there. Zip's going to try and go back into the lobby. Lucky is holding for it. Rough angle for Zip to clear. And so there's 8 for HEET. Now 3 between them and Astralis. You have to see if Sonic really was some kind of wicked Nostradamus all the way back when he said 11-4, dangerous scoreline. Was it because he foretold his move onto French-speaking Vitality, making them the international squad of betting in favour of the Frenchman all those years ago?
Ah, yes, playing the long game, Harry. I mean, it would be very Sonic-esque, very, very far ahead of the rest. 11-8, but let's see this gun round for Astralis. Back outside, faster approach, right-clicking the flash. Body wants to look up on Silo. He knows Config's tricks. Not going to hang around as mollies start to land. Astralis with a boatload of utility in the yard. Afro still stuck on a scout. Oh, and Config beats him to the headshot. This is what I mean. This is what we're seeing from Config in that CT side. Just so efficient. And now leading his team straight to B. Smoke spam does nothing.
Yeah, we do have an early drop down towards lower for Exercise, but if he's not careful, this can end up compounding the issue. This could make it worse. Oh, his decision to get into the vent. This might leave him in a really rough way. And this is looking like a bit of a misread out of HEET. They think it's a bluff. They think with those outside smokes and all the spam from Body that no one really crossed behind them. They've lent heavy into an upper hold, and everybody for Astralis, with the exception of blameF, is down here on B.
Yeah, some things never change. He's waiting for those rotates, but no one's coming outside. They might just have to be stuck out on ramp. The molly and the smoke spread, and there's no way to get back in for the moment for HEET. blameF's even lurking upper to kill these players where they take lobby, and now Astralis are hunting the kills to close the round. Impatience pays off. Exercise in a 1-on-5 to save his gun, even with a boatload of money on HEET. Nothing to be done. So Astralis 5 alive for their 12th. Very well done. And yeah, just that one hesitation, that one change of mind for Exercise costed all the info for HEET downstairs. But safe to say, if he hung around and died anyway, would have dug an even deeper hole, like you said, and Astralis would have been able to convert just as easily. But he didn't even try.
He can't let this get them down. They've still got plenty of money. I mean, look at the cash on this squad, right? Because they've kept this pretty clean up until now. They've been able to farm up a decent bank. It's going to be a while before Astralis managed to break through. It all starts with this. Config, man at the top of the board. And as usual, great calling out of Glaive over on this T side.
Early smoke spam, this time for Joko works out. Surely he doesn't go any further. The molly does force blame into the radio, and that's a perfect lineup for Joko for 2. The AWP is still here, looking for a little bit more. A taste of the action. Tag, zip, and almost spammed back, but everyone survives for HEET. Phenomenal beginning to the round. They've conceded outside info, though, that will allow Astralis a path to B if they so choose to take it. If they do, they'll run into the big green down below. Afro is going to stay on this lower site now with no information. I've heard no footsteps, so Astralis are further than HEET. Ready for it, a missed shot. Afro not counter-strafing in time. Glaive will find him. Body didn't hear anything to tell his teammate how deep they could have gotten. He will win his fight outside. The plant allowed by Glaive, who covers on that ramp rotate, and Astralis try and clutch out a post plant in what was a 2-on-4.
Yeah, they've made it competitive. And I mean, with Config still alive, right, you're always willing to give this guy the benefit of the doubt when he's having a game like this. Time ticking away. Config's set up to try and wrap Decon late, and that's something that, for Lucky here, he's going to have to keep that in the back of his mind, that this is a possibility. This could happen, and it is happening. Config moving in. Door's been closed on him, so he's going to have to make noise, swinging that open. No one's looking. Oh. They get on the bomb, and Config's taking them off. Oh, doubling up now. Config, hell of a spray down from Decon, and even as Body finds him, it's not enough to win the round. Astralis have locked this one in. Just Glaive and Config to make it so, to make it happen. And that's Astralis up onto 13.
Yeah, you feel rough for that ramp rotate as well. The first guy who tries to spam the planter, but he's so wide that Glaive gets an angle on him on the edge of the smoke, and it all just starts to unravel. You can feel that clutch round coming through for Astralis. That is their bread and butter. Put them on the B site with no rotate, and they just farm. Really rough for Afro, who in a 5v3 gained by the Joko on ramp. Afro just gets caught in the open in secret. He's going to try and get more involved now, pushing up behind the red. Nice shot. Can he escape though? Farley's right here to punish Pick, and he will. There's a second player not looking. Body turns on a dime for a kill. Keeping HEET in this round again, but advantages mean nothing as we just learned. 4-on-3 is not done yet. Body's going to get boosted back up into rafters to maybe set up for a ramp rotate. There's one man already here. Joko passive, swings out. Doesn't want to die on this hill though. Dinks blame and disappears into the dark.
Body's going to start to rotate in. Up in heaven now. Config coming his way. Oh, spots him, but firing off. That's giving Config the info. Now you've got this guy interested. Look at him circling, man. He's like a great white waiting down in the bottom of hell. Now looking to join up with his teammates on the ramp take. You know you've put the fear in this Heaven player. You've likely kept bodies on upper. Right now, Joko is alone on this B site. Gonna have to put up one hell of a hold. He's seen a player peek. Now he's seen a second. Pitcher getting painted on the back of all this info. Joko is still spammed out. And we end up in this 3-on-3. Vent drop is pretty immediate for HEET. They start to send bodies in. Speaking of the man, bodies late to the ramp rotation. The fear put him in earlier on from Config, and never mind. Exercise goes swinging out and steals that one away.
Great awareness from Lucky as well, right? He was the one holding on to that control play as they're swinging through. They're playing with the door, just trying to fake out that vent rotate. Lucky doesn't fall for it. Eyes on the stairs, door with a big hole, and Exercise denies the planter off of the bomb. A retake round one, this time on lower from HEET. And these are so close right now. I feel very scared for HEET when Astralis get comfortable on B, but if you don't let them even get off the animation, then HEET can hold on to yet another round. 13-9, this game is closing. 11-4, no more.
Fast molly in towards A. Astralis just trying to give the illusion of a pace change. They still keep it pretty slow, pretty measured.
They've been throwing that hot roof molly every time. It does two things. One, it lets you, eventually hit that A site with it, and HEET won't go, oh, they're doing the molly, they're coming A. It's just part of their default. But also, it's good for getting that vent player down eventually. It doesn't just have to be an A rush. It can be the vent smoke, get Config down into lower, let him lurk, let him go crazy. And so all of this early conditioning for Astralis means eventually, if they need to, they can pull that out on a top hit. Not this round, though. They're going back to smokes.
Yeah, these are the more standard ones, lobbed over, the deeper ones. Oftentimes you see Astralis attempt this with the kind of wider smokes that would let you cross into garage.
Beat.
There is a gap there for Afro. Spots him through the smoke. And yeah, it looks like one of those smokes just pops a tiny bit too far. A tiny bit too far forward, leaving a gap to be exploited farther. Oh, having a flick back to Secret. That was a rough shot to have to hit. And he will come up short. So now Config knows a play has to get made. This guy's been the playmaker. He's been the destroyer.
Oh, no.
Moving on up, he's trying to sink the battleship of Afro, scaling the heavens, but not looking the right way. The AWP will get one. Config able to trade it, but now they know about him, trying to make his way into the land of the sky. Time's running out. There's 12 seconds. Bomb grabbed from main. They've got to get into A. They've got to get in now. Up the vent is Body, and there's Lucky with the backstab. It's the two older boys of HEET to put up another round.
Oh, that got very scary. That's super awkward. The Config misses the timing because it costs him the round, right? His Heaven position on a main door split is perfect for Astralis to hit that A site, but as soon as he trades Afro had already dropped the bomb outside. Blame's in door. He can't get the bomb. Config had to go back from the most powerful position in the round to just get that package, and they go nowhere with it. Crossfire, up vent, and behind CT side will stop it on that top site. And HEET continue to hold on against the odds. 10 rounds now on their CT half. HEET maybe got ahead of themselves on H, and it's all we've been rallying here together in this third map, but Astralis won't. They know this game ain't done. Checking their notes, looking at their homework, trying to find a hole in the HEET defense. Is it there?
You look at determined though. I mean, the fact that we're even kind of considering a world where this comes back speaks volumes after that 11-4 first half. You thought that was going to be enough for Astralis. These T-side woes continue. Outside now, they look to make their presence known. Smokes go over. A third one this time to eliminate any gap in this outside smoke layup. They will get down. Lucky is already here, dropping that molly. He has Body to help him out. And once again, man, it's these two doing the damage. Gonna force Astralis out of lower. Gonna see what Blame can get away with, but firing off blind is loaded a little too soon outside. Now they know about him. They know about him trying to come in on this wrap. blameF with the deagle. trying to climb up heaven. I think he made noise there, right?
Yeah, and they saw him. They're just going to drop in. I like that. Not hurrying these kills. Joko down lower sees that bomb. He's got it trapped. Not the gun for the job on Zip. Blame's got to drop off and assist. They're going to double face. Ooh, it's a mess. Blame trades, but he's dead. Knife out, trying to grab the gun. Heat find 11, and yeah, they're getting hyped again.
Oh.
Don't want to be screaming over the walls just yet. This one is not over. Safe to say. Farley can buy an AWP with no helmet, so he'll just go back to the AK again. Yet to see Afro really come into his own in the CT side, but he's been, back down on ramp, playing safe position so far. Eventually, Astralis will run into that AWP, and we get to see Afro tested again. Been good under pressure. The fact that Heat are still here is something miraculous. Can Astralis find a solution? A new position for Afro with this AWP, scoped into the door. Oh, they spam him though. Zip won't let that position go unpunished. Body sees Config, tries to one-tap him in the air. Config-esque, but won't connect.
Conflict has been the guy doing it all here, but he might need some help. He might need someone else to be that second man. Doesn't have to be every round. Doesn't have to be for the remainder of this game, but he even just wants, even just a little nudge in the right direction to come from someone else. Get Astralis back into this, but with that not arriving, with so much of this falling onto the shoulders of Config, they're building back in, they're believing again, they're taking lobby in this round, a double push. Could this be the way in? Zip with the clear, spams out Afro, and is he even going to molly the close corner? That forces a commit to the fight out of Joko, trying his best to hold on. He will win that out onto the AWP, but he's getting pressured. Farley with a double. Oh, it'd be poetic if it's this guy to rise to the occasion, help Config out, relive those ancient heroics that pulled Astralis back into that map, back into this series. It's his double on the aggroing players that has set Astralis up for 14. They've got to clear lucky. They've got to get past him, and blameF will. It's all come apart in this round now. Heat, they were building back into this. They were believing again. But that lobby aggression, feeding Farley, who held on. It's given over 14.
Yeah, it wasn't just the double ramp crunch. It was exercise coming in through Heart. Like, that was perfection for Farley. And then even Zip, yeah, he dies, but he gets the info that, okay, it's not just a one-man here. Molly's Joko into a gunfight. He has to commit, and bam, body gets bodied by glaive at the end. No saving your rifle in this round. Astralis have picked up 14.
Mate, the money's in such a weird spot as well. Like, you can invest, you can buy.
You've got to.
It's going to have limitations, and you've just got to deal with that. You've got to adapt and overcome here if you're Heat. That is like a real similar vibe to what we had on Dust 2, where, if you remember, Heat were dominating. They were making it look easy, and then Afro got aggressive at long and got bested by Zip. The exact same thing happened in this round to find Astralis 14.
And they keep getting down behind these smokes for free, even though Heat never knew about it, right? They walk back up after Farley doubles up in lobby, and they just hit the A site through main. But again, Astralis were in secret, and Heat had absolutely no idea, because they're walking these smokes every single time. No announcement needed. 14-11. The desperate buy is in. They had to make this call. There's no saving. It's just enough to justify it. That's a smoke for a vent drop. Coming in through the rafters on A. Afro trying to get involved. Eats a nade outside, but he's scoped behind red on a fake play. Astralis have gotten so much attention outside in this early round. Not just the AWP, but body as well. The top performer is taking a look as Astralis line up upper utility for an A hit. They are so ready to go. Glaive Mac 10 entry, in they come.
Yeah, this time it's the real commit. This time it's the real deal. Oh my God, Lucky has found a little gap in this Molotov, and it's let him chill out on top of Heart for way longer than Astralis intended. He's still up here. Okay. With Body dealing with main players, maybe there's hope after all. They're going to start to try and run at him, try to deal with the man in main. Meanwhile, in at ramp, Config, or Zip rather, making progress. Starting to uncover that ramp is empty. They've already dropped 2 players down to B. Body right now is the only guy on upper, and even then he's not watching the A play. This is super weird. blameF, so much of this round rests on his shoulders, and what he wants to do, he's going to give Zip the room first, see if he can get into B,
now moving into ramp to go and join him. HEET, they took a bit of a gamble here, playing this double lower stack right away, and it might serve them well.
He just got info. Zip saw a player on the top rafters, so that's going to keep HEET here, and Zip calls for help from Blame. They both come out, and that's a beautiful headshot, or fires off, but it needs to connect, or this could be the entire series off the back of this round alone. A 3-on-5 that Astralis have made, a 2v2. There's a quick flank. Zip's not watching. He turns back, though. Oh, body, he's so low. One bullet, or to do it, and Zip going to hit the headshot. Just Afro. Up close comes Blame, and Afro's getting pushed back into a corner. Can he unleash hell? 1v2, just bait shots, a quick scope that won't connect, and he's trying to play with the door, but it's Blame with 3 kills on the lower side to shut out the round, and Astralis will find 15 first. Even with the right gamble, even with the right read coming out from HEET, it's not enough. Clutch kills out of Astralis, even Config bursted Exercise out of heaven in that round. And, you know, Astralis could have just waltzed onto A. It was free the entire time. They go into the difficult site and they do it again.
Man, I've got to say, like, Zip's kind of experience really shines through in these last few rounds. He hasn't done anything super flashy in terms of kills, but the info gathering is why Astralis have looked so good in these last few clutch moments. So much of it is on the info that Zip is getting for the team. You're never overplaying his hand. This time, don't have a choice. They're going to try and rush up. They're going to try and rush lobby. And Farley just ascends up the ladder, gets out of there. Body is even dinked. Brought down low. This might be the end of the line for HEET. They've got next to nothing versus an Astralis with their legacy on the line, with so much to play for, and 4 rounds, 4 chances to win this series and go to the major.
Yeah, this is the kind of buy that Astralis had at 14-11 down on Ancient. They picked it up and they pulled it back and won the map in 30 rounds. HEET, do they have the same gumption? Do they have the same ability up against these legends? It's a nice stack. It's a good flash. They peek with it, but Astralis were getting ready to go. And go Config shall. 3 kills in a quick burst. And this might be the end of HEET. This might be Astralis at the major. It seems foretold. And this game is sold down the river. Afro in a 1v5. And folks, Astralis are going to Antwerp.
Yeah, that round there, mate, it is a perfect metaphor for this game, for this series, for this map. You do everything you can, you throw all these flashes, you've got a game plan, and Config just annihilates you regardless. Man, Astralis, they turn it around in a big way come Nuke. It got shaky on Ancient. You got worried at one point that this tenured squad, this team of...